Hey everyone! Hope you guys are having a really fun time at Zach's bachelor party, and I hope you have a great weekend.
All right, thanks, Diana. We're gonna do a fiance quiz with you to see how well you know Zach,
Cool.
and for us to, get a little more details onto, your guys' relationship. So we're gonna
Sounds
start off
great.
with some easy questions, and we'll get progressively hotter and spicier.
Sounds
Oh.
good.
What is Zach's favorite band?
Disclosure for sure.
All right, we'll see if Zach agrees.
um,
What's Zach's favorite food?
I think it depends if he's cooking it or not. So I
Oh,
think if he's cooking it, gumbo, but if he's eating it, I would say either sushi or specifically trying different hamburgers at different places and rating them.
hmm. Is there a food that Zach hates that you love?
Oh, um, I feel like no. I think Zach pretty much likes everything. So I would say that if anything, I'm just way pickier. So I don't think that's ever happened actually.
Is there a food that you hate but Zach loves?
Ooh, I hate beans. So probably beans. I would say that
Hmm.
one.
Yeah. What is one song Zach likes but would never admit?
Mm. I would say any of my music, like Tate McRae, or Taylor Swift. Actually, he's okay with, but mostly music that I play, he's like, "Oh, that's fine," but it's not his favorite.
What would Zach pick, a beach vacation or a mountain getaway?
Oh, that's so hard. Um, hmm. Gosh, I think in the end it would be for a trip, mountains, because then he can hike and he can kind of be by himself and he has great views and stuff. So I would say mountain for a trip.
Okay, for a trip. Now, if he could live anywhere in the world, where would he choose?
I think beach for sure.
Hmm,
If he like loves being by the ocean, yeah, I would lean beach.
cool. If Zach could have a superpower, what power would you want him to have?
Oh, hmm. I would love either to have him be able to transfer all the knowledge he accumulated to me because he's so knowledgeable, or be able to fly us places like Superman kind of thing.
Nice, nice. What's Zach's most overused phrase or word?
Oh, definitely y'all. He uses a lot. Um, I think that would be the most used one.
What's Zach's guilty pleasure for a show or a movie?
mm, um, uh, I don't know. He probably he definitely watches more movies than shows, so it wouldn't be a show, I don't think. Um, but it'd probably be um more like a murdery movie kind of horror thing. Um, I think something like that. But he doesn't actually watch too much TV. It's more me that likes watching TV.
What's your biggest guilty pleasure for a show or a movie?
I would say it's probably like Selling Sunsets or like Love Is Blind, one of those. Any show that Zach can watch and pick out the watches that the men on the show are wearing. He likes to do that.
Yeah. What's Zach's biggest pet peeve?
Oh, definitely a dirty house, I would say. And this is going to be really niche, but if you hang in the closet, if you hang the coats not facing left, if they're facing right, that's a big pet peeve for him.
So, how would you describe Zach as a roommate?
Very clean, very organized. Um, Definitely. likes things in certain places, but he doesn't. He's very good about not complaining, and I would say he quiet hours don't exist for Zach in this house. Is another thing.
No. He touched on his closet and how he likes, the coats lined up to the left. If you're in his wardrobe or his closet and you could get rid of anything, what would you
Mm.
choose?
Oh, that's a great question. I have to say, Zach has pretty good style. I actually use most of his clothes more than my own. Um, uh, oh my gosh, I actually totally know. He has these pair of shorts that has a paint stain on the crotch, like all over, and he wears them out anywhere, like anywhere. I would get rid of those in a heartbeat. Those should be burned at the stake for sure. Yes.
You said that you like to wear some of Zach's clothing.
Yeah.
What are your favorite things of Zach's to wear?
I would say definitely his sweaters and his jean jacket. I wear the
Nice.
most.
All right, now tell us how you two first met.
So we met playing intramurals. We were assigned randomly to the same team, and our team was really bad at playing football. So we ended up going for drinks before playing the games, and so then that's how we started talking more.
And what was the first thing you noticed about Zach?
I would say just his like high energy and very like he was very outgoing. Like he immediately came up to us, tried to talk to us, like introduce himself. So definitely his attitude.
When was your first official date after hanging out and getting to know each other through intramural sport?
So I think we're gonna have different answers on this. So I think Zach's gonna say end of January of 2023 because that's when we went out. That I didn't know it was a date, but I would say officially our first date later would have been like I think like mid-April of 2023.
Hmm. Who said I love you first and how did it go down?
Zach said it first. We were driving back. We went on a trip to Seattle and Vancouver. And so we were actually driving back from Vancouver, like about to enter the States. And Zach's much better with words. So I don't remember exactly what he said. But he was like, oh, I want to tell you something while we're still in Canada. And I was like, oh my God, did we forget our passport or something? And then he was like, oh, I love you. So that's how it
Uh,
happened.
yeah. All right. Now we're gonna go into a snap response. So, don't overthink it. The first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
What's the one thing that Zach thinks you'll be doing at your bachelorette party that's probably not true?
Um, Getting too drunk. I will be drinking, but I will not get too drunk.
You've gone grocery shopping. On a whim, you decide to get Zach a little surprise, some kind of treat. What would it be?
Salad. I know that sounds dumb, but he loves his salads.
When you say, Zach, they're playing our song, what song are they playing?
One of Disclosure's songs from their newest album
Oh. Complete the following sentence. A perfect husband is one who.
is loving, thoughtful, and caring.
Very sweet. All right, now we're going to get a little more challenging. So tell us about an awkward moment that you've had together.
Yeah. So Zach is somehow the least awkward person I've ever met. So I have to say, I think that the most awkward would have been on the first date that I did not realize was a date. And only halfway through, whenever Zach was like, oh, I'm so glad I asked you out. And me finally coming to the realization it was a date, I think is the most awkward. Because since then, he's very good at smoothing things over.
And what's one thing that Zach really cares about for the wedding? What's like the most important thing for him there?
Definitely the DJ and the music. He wants that to be perfect and for people to be dancing the whole night.
All right. And last question. When did you know that Zach was the one?
I knew Zach was the one when we went on a ski trip to Tahoe, and I was out at the club the night before. He drove, picked me up at 2 a.m. from the club. We went back to my house. I packed, and then at like 4 or 5 a.m., he woke up, packed the car all by himself, then woke me up and had the brought me to the car and had the car all ready with like a blanket and a pillow. And he's like, "You just sleep and I'll drive." And he got probably 2 hours of sleep, and yeah, drove us all the way there. And then we had such a fun weekend skiing and just spending time together. And so that was really nice.
What a guy. Diana,
Definitely.
thank you so much.
Thank you.